It's UFC episode 39. We back, baby, for the big pay-per-view. Leon Edwards and Chaos Covington. Tricky pick, last pick of the draft for me.
Yeah, I wasn't touching that one at all. So I got my own prediction on what's going to happen with that one, which is probably just going to be way off the base, which is the last couple of Leon Edwards fights. But here we are. We're back again with another funny main event. All right, diving into it. First pick of the draft, you went with the overwhelming favorite.
Shavkat Rakhmonov, king of Kazakhstan, is first pick overall this week.
Undefeated so far. He's got his biggest test, I think, so far, which is Steve Old Man Wonder Boy Thompson. Steve's still got some gas in the tank. It's not going to be a complete walk in the park like the minus 700 line is saying, but you know, Shavkat got a different kind of style than Kickboxer Wonder Boy, and he'll probably dominate it in the wrestling game. What do you think?
So we saw, like, Wonder Boy still got it. We saw the way he dismantled Jeff Neal, and then Rakhmonov comes in and does it in 3 rounds by stoppage. Rakhmonov is not only undefeated, he's got a 100% finish rate. On the flip side, this 3-rounder is really working against him. So when we saw him fight Kevin Holland, we saw Holland lose pace as that fight went on. Shakhmonov doesn't have to worry about that because of the whole 15 versus 25 minutes. So I think Shavkat Rakhmonov can steal the first round, steal the second round, and then it's just game over for Wonder Boy. I don't think Wonder Boy can really work with a 15-minute fight like he can with a 25er. That's how I see this fight going down.
Yeah, it really limits his opportunities for, say, a knockout upset, I think, in this one. Moving on, we had a couple of other big favorites. I took Paddy Pimblett over Ian Gary. Ian Gary came down with the man flu. I think Paddy Pimblett has a bit of an easier fight against Tony Ferguson. I don't want to say washed Tony Ferguson, but if Bobby Green is going to choke him out, I think Paddy's probably going to choke him out too. So in what Paddy calls a lose-lose battle against Tony.
For me, I stopped betting on Ferguson after the Oliveira fight. Once he got exposed on the ground, that was it for me. After Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush also takes him out on the ground. And then, like you said, Bobby Green is just a new low for who's able to beat him. If Paddy gets it done this weekend, Tony will have lost 7 fights in a row. That's the company record. Might be time for him to hang it up.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're trying to get in on the Paddy money line, if you want to get some money on the baddie, minus 400 is not the way to go about it. Cheese that plus 260.
Yeah.
I did take Ian Gary before he got diagnosed with the pneumonia, so I went back and retook Pantoja, and I've got Martin Buday. You've got Randy Brown and Casey O'Neill. A lot of experience between these 4 matchups. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of overs.
Yeah, I'm thinking we got a lot of overs. I mean, the line is juiced on the under 2.5 for the Pantoja flyweight title bout, which is kind of interesting to me. Flyweights typically go pretty long. Royval and Pantoja did fight a year or 2 ago, though, and that one did stop in the second round. Pantoja, Royval, they do have crazy pace, and they're going to try and be pushing it, but I think they're going to take their time a little bit now that they know they have 5 rounds to work with. But a lot of these, I can see them going long. Casey O'Neill, probably going to go long. Most girl fights do. And Martin Buday, what do you think?
Martin Buday is coming against a guy who's making his UFC debut. That's enough for me to fade him and take Buday in that fight. Martin Buday has spoiled a couple of draft picks for me in the past. As far as technical heavyweights in the deep end of that division go, he's definitely one of them. He's spoiling a lot of people's parlays. I like Buday. I like Pantoja. He's on the favorite side. It was a bit of a quick pick to get the draft rolling again, but I think he'll be able to get it done against Royval. Flyweight's usually well matched. I have no issues taking favorites in flyweight bouts.
Yeah, Pantoja won the first one against Royval, so we can see the path there. Go back and watch it if you want. That's a very entertaining fight. It's only about 7 minutes long. 2 of them are just rolling around the whole time, trying to get each other in the grappling exchanges, and then ultimately ends up in Pantoja with the rear naked. But great fight. I can see them taking a lot longer, standing up on the feet.
I think we have quite a few fighters on this card who have faced some decent wrestlers. Looking down here, Bryce Mitchell is your next pick, and Cody Garbrandt you're taking to not sub out Brian Kelleher. Brian Kelleher has had issues with getting subbed in the past, but you think Cody's got his hands in that fight for the next round of the draft?
I bet on Cody Garbrandt about a month ago. I think when this fight was announced, Brian Kelleher in my mind is kind of like a body. He's good for a couple of decent upsets, and we've all seen Cody Garbrandt get knocked out like 5 times over the past few years here. But Brian Boom Kelleher, I don't think he's really got a bunch of that boom left in him. He's 37 years old now. Garbrandt's chin is a bit worn out, but I think he's getting a lot better. He's fought a lot better competition. If you go look at who he's been knocked out by, it's not the Brian Kelleher's of the world out here. So I think Cody Garbrandt's a better guy. I think he's fighting down quite a bit, and he needs to win this one to stay in, and I think he's going to do it.
Now, with respect to Bryce Mitchell, very esteemed grappler, also has a recent loss to Topuria. He claims he had the flu as well. Flu must be going around. So are you willing to discount that loss of Bryce Mitchell?
I'm willing to discount any loss to Ilia Topuria, to be honest, man. I can't blame Bryce Mitchell for losing that fight, but I can definitely see Bryce Mitchell grinding out a decision win against Josh No Wrestling Emmett. You know, if he keeps Emmett off his feet and neutralizes that big left hand of Emmett, then he's got an easy path to victory. If they stay up, if Josh can stuff all of his takedowns and roll arounds and grappling attempts, then it could be a different fight. But I like Bryce Mitchell this deep in the draft, definitely.
These are all super low weight fights. Touchy-feely is at like featherweight, Durden's at flyweight, Mitchell's at featherweight, Garbrandt's at bantamweight, but we're still very afraid of the stoppage win down at these weight classes this week. Just super high-level guys with proven records of getting these stoppage wins.
Yeah, for sure. And just watch the power, watch the chins. That's what you got to look at.
I'm kind of worried about Andre Fili. I only took him so I had the option to buy insurance. I can still pick up his opponent on the dog side. I don't have a lot of confidence in Fili coming through. Durden has surprised me with a couple of surprise wins. I was taking Durden earlier in drafts of late. He's on a 4-fight win streak now. I think he can get another one in before the talent level jumps and he gets reality checked.
Yeah, I'm used to fading Cody Durden, but I'm putting that on pause right now.
Last picks, things are getting really dicey. Irene Aldana, I recently watched her lose against Amanda Nunes, so I'm just a bit iffy. I'm hoping that she's spent 6 months shaking that off and improving and working her game. Leon Edwards, I don't want to talk about Leon Edwards. Just go in there and get it done. See you on Sunday, Leon.
Leg kick, back up, leg kick. We've seen in the last matchup between Usman and Leon Edwards, 3 takedowns, 5 minutes ground control is not enough to overpower the leg kicks from Leon Edwards, man. He outstruck him. So everybody looks at significant strikes. Leg kicks. That's all it is, man. Leg kicks. Get this false champ out of here. I'm not a big fan of Kobe Covington, but come on, someone else got to take it. No, but I'll tell you what one's going to be an absolute banger. Dustin Jacoby and Alonzo Menafield. That one I am excited for. Now, it's not going to last very long. Light heavyweight. Two of these guys are bangers, man. Dustin Jacoby, second stint in the UFC, did a lot of kickboxing in between, but he's bringing it back. He's proven himself, and we finally get to see Alonzo Menafield outside of Jimmy Crute. His last 2 fights against him have been pretty good, pretty entertaining, but I'm expecting not very much grappling and just a lot of standing and punching. That's it.
You got Jacoby. Is Jacoby going to initiate or is Jacoby going to counter? Like Menafield,
Jacoby is definitely going to be the initiator. He's definitely going to be pushing.
So you think
Alonzo
he's going to
initiate
and he's going to complete. So you're probably guessing round 1.
Man, with the pace that Jacoby puts on, I mean, he knocked out Kennedy in first round last fight, so first, second round, I can see that happening for sure. I haven't looked at the line, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like over under 1.5, kind of at pick'em.
I don't have faith in Menafield to work any sort of grappling or like clinch game to neutralize Jacoby, so I can see why you'd want to leave Jacoby. I do, however, see his cardio giving him round 3, basically guaranteed, and I think he has decent enough footwork and decent enough defense to just stop that Jacoby assault in the early game. So I actually like Menafield in that fight.
Well, that's why it's the last pick of the draft, or one of them. But it should be pretty close. It's not that I like Jacoby over the other one. I'm kind of just riding with the minus 250 price line in the draft here. But I do like that one not to go the distance or under 2 rounds, or I'll have a look and come back and say something later on.
Right on. You got final pick of the draft. So what do you think for the main event? We going long or we going short?
I'm gonna have to take it by distance. You know, over 4.5, I think was like 1.6 odds. Everyone's really expecting a long, 30-minute, dragged out, boring ass fight here, and I'm gonna ride with the crowd on this one. So I'm gonna goes to the distance for first pick next week.
Perfect. As far as laying chalk this week for me, I do like the main event to go the distance. I like Almeida against Touchy-Feely at plus 140 for a bit of insurance. I don't like Josh Emmett at whatever price they're giving for Josh Emmett.
I do like Almeida, and I do like him by knockout as well. I mean, we've seen Touchy-Feely get in there and get knocked out a little bit, and Almeida's got some power to him. So Almeida by finish, maybe a little bit, but I do like Almeida this fight too.
Bit of a must-win fight for Touchy-Feely, so I am a bit iffy about that pick, man. Like, it's very possible that he does not right the ship this week.
I do like Paddy Pimblett, 3.6, 3.75, wherever you can find him at a decent price for sub. And besides that, we got Pantoja, Royval, over 2.5. Proline has it at about 2.11 odds there right now. And I like these guys in a title fight in a flyweight title fight to go over 2.5 at plus money. You don't usually see that very often, so I think they're going to take their time, range find before they start rolling around and getting greasy. That's it for me. I got nothing else.
Shed2Ed, episode 39, UFC 296.
Let's go, baby.
Woo!